In this video, I'm going to show you what's the coolest way to create content in bulk or on autopilot using automated client acquisition so that you never have to worry about creating content ever again. This is going to do it for you. So you can do it in two different ways. So if you like to click buttons, you can do that inside the app. Otherwise, you can do it through Claude MCP and basically run a conversation with Claude. And this is going to do everything for you inside the platform. The platform has been built in what I like to call MCP native. So it is designed to work via conversations and not by clicking buttons. So what you need to do first is to make sure that you have different sets inside the library. So these can be brands, characters, product, target audiences, blogs, strategy, or knowledge-based documents. These are really important because they get reused inside content generation. They get reused in the context of blueprints. So blueprints are basically systems or system settings. So we're content pipeline, reference image libraries. And here, as you can see, we have different prompts. So we have the master prompt, which is what defines the text or the caption, and the image prompt, which is what defines what the post actually looks like. And within these prompts, we have different inputs. So we have the ID, for instance. Oh, I'm going to see a mistake on that one. So it's double curly brackets. And here we embed the ID, different talking points, different hooks, and CTAs. And we can reuse the library elements which we've seen previously, so that if I want to use a brand, I can use a brand. Or if I want to use a character, I can use a character. Or blocks, or they all work the same way. So it's basically a variable that you use and gets reused during generation. And that's specifically useful because when we generate content, we can go inside the blueprint. I'll select an ID. Here we can select different hooks, talking points, or CTAs, or define our own. And we are going to click continue. And here I'm going to basically bulk select different characters. And this is going to create 6 different outputs for one piece of content using 6 different characters. So that's very powerful because you can create just as many as you like. I'm just going to go inside this one. I'll show you what that looks like. So here you have your different pieces of content that are generating for a given job. Here you have the caption, so the text, the actual content. Here you have the image prompt, and you'll see that you also get an image. And this one is not looking right, so I'll probably need to adjust the image prompt for that one. And then here I'll just click on publish. I'll select my social media accounts or whichever one you like. And here I'm going to click post, or I can schedule it as well. Or if I both select, like if I have several pieces of content here inside the sidebar, I can select them all, click on publish, select my social media profiles, select peak time, schedule, and this is going to smart publish throughout the day. So in cycles, so this is what I mean when I say you don't have to worry about content ever again. It just does it for you. But it gets even better. We have a system called autopilots. So autopilots basically use the same blueprints, the same assets, and the IDs, but the IDs are separated by tags. So when we create an autopilot, we basically define the content mix. So here we have different prompts that are being used because they are being attached to each and every single blueprint. And here we can say, okay, you're going to use 40% of the time this blueprint, and you're going to fetch the IDs from the ID pool that have a tag, autopilot. And it's going to do the same for each and every single blueprint. And here we can define when does it run. So if we want, for instance, to have this content mix and the publishing frequency to be 3 times per day, we can make the smart timing for engagement. And this is basically going to define that based on the time zone. We select the different publishing destinations, and it's basically going to do everything on autopilot. Now, what we can do as well, if you are frightened to run out of content or content IDs, you can toggle this on. So it's going to reload the ID pool autonomously, and it's going to use stuff that it has already produced. It's going to basically regenerate the same post or create a slight variation. If you've had stuff working really well in the past, you're not going to change the whole thing. You just want to make minor tweaks and publish it again. This is going to do it for you on autopilot. If you don't enjoy clicking buttons, you can go through Claude Code. Basically, all you need to do is go inside Settings. You'll see inside Integration, you have MCP Claude, create an API key. You name your API key. Next, you're going to go inside Claude. You're going to go inside Settings. You're going to click on Connectors. And here, add a custom connector. Just paste the URL that you'll be provided with. Give it a name. And next, you just need to make sure that you configure it properly. So you'll see that we have a lot of different tools. You don't need them all, but you need to set the permissions. And once you've done that, you can go inside chats, and here you can just talk to Claude, and it's going to do everything that we've already done, but automatically. So that's basically the process. That's what I found to be the fastest and the most reliable way to create content at scale on autopilot. Now, we could talk about Claude Cowork or OpenClaw, but I found that it takes too much freedom and I want to control the output. That's the reason why I think the blueprint system works better. That was it for this video. If you enjoyed it, just click the like button and don't hesitate to check out the community. You'll be welcome, and you'll also get access to this automated client acquisition tool. Bye-bye.